Teenager levels allegations of religious discrimination at a Tulsa clothing store.
Turned down for a part-time job. She says it's discrimination.
It's happening all across the country. More and more people claiming they're being denied jobs because of religious discrimination. Muslims in particular have faced a 150% jump in workplace discrimination since 9/11, and it's often over their religious clothing. So we wanted to find out how people would react if they witnessed someone being discriminated against simply because of what they wear. We bring our hidden cameras to the Omega Diner in North Brunswick, New Jersey, and we hire actors in religious garb to portray job applicants looking for work. The man who's about to ask all the questions, well, he's an actor too.
How are you?
Nice to meet you, Nathan.
Hey, Nathan, how are you? Have a seat.
Great, thank you.
George.
The first job interview of the day begins innocently enough.
Do you have reliable transportation?
Yeah, I do. Car's right outside.
You own your own car? How many hours a week could you give us?
Around 30.
And then the topic turns to the restaurant's dress code.
Uniform is very basic, as you can see. White shirt, tie, black pants. Obviously, you can't wear the yarmulke. I'm sure you understand that.
The yarmulke, also known as a kippah, is that small cloth cap on the actor's head. It's often worn by observant Jewish men.
That would be a problem. I wear my kippah every day. I've worn this one since I was 13. I don't leave the house without it.
You know what? I respect that. I understand religious beliefs and the whole bit, but here, as part of what we do, I'd prefer you didn't.
But what the manager prefers doesn't sit well with our job applicant.
Respectfully, sir, that is illegal.
And people nearby start to pay attention.
You're going to tell me that you're not going to hire me because I'm wearing a kippah?
No, I'm not going to hire you because you would wear it while you're serving here, is what you're telling me.
These two men appear to be listening closely, but it's not until they leave that one of them confronts our manager.
I overheard your conversation. I don't think it would offend anybody.
Thank you, sir.
He's got a good personality.
It makes a statement, though.
To what?
To his religious beliefs.
Who cares? I eat here. I just want good food and good service. If he's hospitable, he's a nice guy, who cares what his religious beliefs are? I said to myself, that's just discrimination right there. You know, if the guy is qualified to do the job, what difference does it make if he wears a yarmulke?
But not everyone who overhears our actors agrees.
This is illegal, and people in this restaurant need to know about it.
When our Jewish job applicant storms off, some customers side with the manager.
Am I crazy? I mean, you know, just ask the guy a simple question.
If it's your policy, it's your policy.
Yeah, I mean,
You can't wear a black shirt if they tell you you gotta wear a white shirt. If they tell you you gotta wear short hair, you gotta wear short hair. This is how this
Don't like it, you can get up and walk out.
But our job applicant was right. What our manager is asking for is against the law, federal law. According to Title VII of the Civil Rights Act, employers are prohibited from treating applicants or employees differently based on their religious beliefs or practices. In fact, employers are required to provide a reasonable accommodation unless doing so would result in undue hardship. Later in the morning, we run our scenario again, but this time with another eager job seeker. Once again, a few warm-up questions.
never been convicted of a crime?
No.
Okay, that's always good.
Then our manager draws attention to the scarf covering her head. It's called a hijab, traditionally worn by Muslim women.
As part of our uniform, I would need you to not wear it. That's not going to be a problem, right?
Yeah, I can't. I mean, this is for religious purposes.
I understand that. I appreciate that. But I can't have it here as part of what we do.
So I can't work here with
that on, no.
As the job interview becomes more impassioned, a few customers appear to listen in, but keep to themselves.
Look, I really would like this job.
And
I'm a hard worker. You can see that I have the qualifications for the job.
Everything about you is great for the job. I have one issue. People may find that to be a little bit scary.
This is not scary to people. What I'm wearing is not scary to people.
It's not to me. It's not to me. But you know what? Some people don't know what that means, what religion it is, what religion it isn't. But it makes a statement that we don't want to make here.
But once the manager steps away, several of the diners step in. This woman runs over to comfort her.
Look,
never said that to me. I cannot believe it.
He's a jerk. He made you cry. He's a jerk. Okay?
Another woman can't believe how our actress was treated.
It's horrible. It's her. He's not going to hire. He has to expect that. He's worried about his customers. That's right here.
Now watch what happens when the manager returns and runs into this woman.
Excuse me, sir. That was very wrong what you did.
Me?
Yes, you. Yes.
I don't see what I'm doing that's
You're
wrong.
discriminating against her. You are. You are.
Against you.
It's our policy. I'm asking her not to wear anything
That
that's
can't be a policy. You're discriminating against her religion. That cannot possibly be.
I'm not discriminating against any religion.
Discriminating. Yes, you are.
Just telling her not to practice while she's serving
You can't
here.
tell somebody not to practice. Are you stupid?
The manager then asks our job applicant to leave.
This is the problem. This is what I didn't want to have happen here. I'm not giving you the job, so please, can you leave?
Would you like to join us for lunch? If you want to join us for lunch, he can't ask you to leave. Come over here with us.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That is horrible.
The woman tells our actress to call her lawyer.
And tell him you were discriminated against because of your religion. You can't do that.
That's when another customer stops by to show her support.
I'm sorry that just went down. Don't get confused. It's just like they said, that was racist, Islamophobic, and all it's a mess. So whatever it is you need to do, trust that you've been discriminated against here.
And then we stop by.
Oh my God!
I'm John.
I feel like I'm on. What would you do?
You were so kind to her. You were telling her to call your lawyer.
Yeah, it's wrong. You can't do that. Just because you wear religious garb, it's like I'm a customer. I wouldn't be afraid of her.
You're in tears.
Yeah.
Why is it so
Because I cared about her feelings. And she was so upset. I'd be happy for her to serve me.
You watch the show.
Yes, I
You
definitely
see how
watch it.
people react or don't react.
Well, don't react.
And when you were watching, what do you say to yourself?
I would hope that somebody would stick up for me if I were in a similar situation, and I needed support from a stranger. Just don't walk by and act like I'm invisible.
And remember this woman? She says she wanted to say even more, but her husband stopped her.
Yeah, I said, just don't get involved. He's going, just let it go. And I'm sitting here going, you can't do this.
We're back at the Omega Diner in North Brunswick, New Jersey, where a Jewish job applicant and a Muslim job applicant have both been told they can't work here unless they remove their religious attire. For some, it's an outrageous case of discrimination.
He's serving
You can't
here.
tell somebody not to practice. Are you stupid?
For others, it's simply an employer enforcing a dress code. But how will people react now if the job applicant insists on wearing a turban? Ever since 9/11, there's been an upsurge in discrimination and hate crimes against Sikhs. Often mistaken for Muslims, Sikhs are actually members of a 500-year-old religion from northern India. But to some, their turbans and beards mimic the dress code for terrorist groups, causing fear and misunderstanding. So what will people in this diner think?
Hi, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
Pleasure.
you.
We've spoken on the phone.
Yes.
As the job interview gets started, no one seems to pay any attention to our two actors.
If we need you to bus a table, not a problem.
Absolutely. I've actually worked in every position in the restaurant industry. I've got a deep passion for the hotel, hospitality industry.
Beautiful.
But then our manager crosses the line.
Obviously, you can't wear the head garb.
What do you mean I can't wear the head garb?
Yeah, I can't have you wear that. It's just, part of our policy here is that everyone's non-denominational. And
You want me to take off the turban?
when you're working, only when you're working. I don't care what you do in your personal life.
It's against my religion to take off the turban, so in fact you're asking me to violate a principle of my religion by doing so.
No, I'm asking you not to wear it while you're working here.
Still, the interview attracts only a few passing glances. But then the dialogue heats up.
Okay, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I can't hire you looking the way you look.
Looking the way I look?
Yes.
Looking the way I look?
Yes. It's threatening.
Threatening?
It could be threatening to anyone that's sitting here eating who doesn't know what that means.
This is America, sir.
Yes.
Everybody that has come to this country is an immigrant.
You're getting very upset, sir.
I am upset. You are discriminating against me for my religion.
This is not.
Finally, we tell our Sikh job applicant to walk out.
This is unbelievable.
You want your customers to know about this?
Please,
You should. They should hear about it. They should hear that you're not hiring me because I'm wearing a turban.
Oh, they hear about it all right, but no one speaks up until we show up.
The bottom line is, if there's a dress code and you want the job, jobs are hard to get, you follow the dress code. That's
What
how
if
I
the
feel.
turban is part of his religion?
If I really wanted the job, I would take the turban off.
He might be breaking the law, though.
So in other words, if I was of a religious where I didn't wear any clothes, I could work because it's my religion.
I think in America you should be dressed and behave like an American.
Sort of fit in?
Fit in with the society.
You think he should have taken off the turban?
I know it's not politically correct in the United States and everybody wants to be more open. And I'm open myself, but I'm open also to change my behavior, to live with all the people around.
Where are you from?
Israel.
Israel. Wow. So if it was a yarmulke that he wanted you to take it off?
If the place says, you know, it's disturbing me that you have a yarmulke, yes, take it off. Or don't work here.
But not everyone here agrees with management.
The guy was out of line. He was clearly discriminating against the guy.
You can't do that.
No, how can you do it? You're going to say it to me about my color or my religious beliefs? It's the same thing, right? I'm wearing red. You may not like red today. Honestly, I'm embarrassed that I didn't jump up.
We try our scenario again to see if anyone comes to our job applicant's defense. Soon, this woman sitting behind him and this woman sitting next to him are listening in disbelief.
So you're asking me to violate one of my basic religious practices, which is to cover my head and wear a turban.
Phaedra, with all due respect, it's a food business. Our thing here is service, quality, making sure customers get taken care of.
You can see from my experience, from my resume, that I've worked in the restaurant industry since I was 16. I've never had any problem.
I think you're misunderstanding us. We will not tolerate any expression of any religion. This is not about your religion. It's about any religion.
When the job interview suddenly ends,
good luck to you. I'm not going to lose any more customers.
Both women look distraught. And each of them has something to say to our manager.
That's really illegal. I'm just not sure if you're aware that how illegal it is.
It's just a uniform thing that we're trying to do here.
You're just lucky there's no lawyers around.
Turbans, you know, in a post 9/11 society could be a threat to someone. Somebody may think he's a terrorist for all I know. I mean, you tell me, am I wrong?
Yeah.
Just don't
I
want.
don't like what I heard just today.
This is a religious-free zone. It's a diner. I'm not discriminating against any one religion. I just don't want that imposed.
You're discriminating about all of them that show anything.
Now it's our turn to hear what they have to say.
I'm John Quinones.
I know who you are.
You spoke up?
Yeah, I did. So wrong. The man said that he was well qualified. If he's well qualified, then give him the damn job. Period.
He didn't like the turban.
I don't necessarily care for it. And I said to him personally, I would look at you with a turban and not be sure either. But I would give you the benefit of the doubt until I get to know you.
Her husband agrees.
My father always said to me, look at a person like you were blind. You can't see him, you don't know what he looks like. Judge him on how he acts. And that's what I do.
That's great advice.
Amen.
You couldn't help but listen for a long time.
Yeah.
At what moment do you decide I should say something?
I don't know. I felt some compassion, like very deep compassion for him. I felt like my voice had to be heard.
You didn't know him.
No, I just felt like it was right. Like we're all brothers and sisters.
Throughout the day, about half of the people we spoke to believe businesses should have the right to make employees leave their religious practices at home, despite laws that explicitly forbid that. But for this young college student, the issue isn't the law. It's about acceptance.
You're studying. What do you study?
I study religion.
What have you learned?
There's something that unites all of us, something beyond color of your skin or ethnicity or what you believe in. There's something that makes all of us one, and that to ostracize anyone or try to make anyone an outcast isn't right, because we're all the same.
It diminishes us all.
Yeah.